Yo, what's up, Diamond family? It's your man Vivi, and welcome back to the VVS Academy. As you guys know, I'm here every week dropping off gems, teaching you to record and mix your music better. So if that sounds good to you, stick around. Look, man, you guys seen the title? I'm giving you guys the keys. This is the best rap vocal chain for 2024. That's right, you guys love the one I did last year. I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys this one before the year even starts so you can start rocking it and getting your vocals and everything locked in perfectly already. All right, so let's dive right into it. I won't even over talk it. If you need a template for recording in Pro Tools, I got a free template down below. It handles all the complex routing and effects and everything. It just lets you focus on being creative and making great songs. So check out that free template down below as well. All right, let's hear the track. I'm gonna let you hear it finished, and then we'll strip back and show you how we dialed in this vocal chain. Let's get it.
Take from me like I'm testing the season. Won't hit 10 till you give me a reason. Hawk out and I lose control of my breathing. That's why they all look at me like a demon. Mix a RC with a sedum in a fan. You sit back, you gon' see the difference. You cost me, I'm gon' be your consequence. It's for the thrill, I partake for the hell of it. Hurt for so long, now I'm back.
All right, bet. So the vocal sounds great, right? Let's go ahead and take off the chain. We're gonna take off the vocal chain and hear just the dry vocal. Now I'm gonna keep the auto tune because, like, come on, man, we're not about to do all that. But I'll just let you hear the vocal without any effects.
Hey, so come take from me like I'm testing the season. Won't hit 10 till you give me a reason. Hawk out and I lose control of my breathing. That's why they all look at me like a demon. Mix a RC with a sedum in a fan. You sit back, you gon' see the difference. You cost me, I'm gon' be your consequence. It's for the thrill, I partake for the hell of it. Hurt for so long, now I'm back on my
Bad. All right, so as you can hear, the vocal doesn't sound bad with no effects, and that's because everything is well recorded and well balanced. If you're struggling with either of those things, man, look back. I got videos on so many of them. I have an entire free course on balance. If you head to my website, you can learn how to balance out your vocals and your beat. But that's not what we're here for. We're here for the vocal chain. So let's go ahead, bring it up, and I'll show you exactly what everything is. Now, these are just our sends, but before that, we have the VMR. And this chain right here, you can see is Rap 24. This is the one. So we started off with just the virtual channel and a de-esser, right? So these two things are gonna really add way more control than we think it will. It's gonna do a lot for us and a lot for our signal in the way of controlling things. Once we get those sharp S's out of the way, those high S's, a lot of times it lets the compressor react less aggressively, and so you get less work from your compressor and it's more transparent. So let's hear with just those two things engaged.
Hey, so come take from me like I'm testing the season. Won't hit 10 till you give me a reason. Hawk out and I lose control of my breathing. That's why they all look at me like a demon. Mix up.
Right, cool. So it's just a little more compact, a little more controlled, a little bit more consistent because we don't have those harsh S's jumping out. So following that, we just added some saturation. I like the sound of this Hollywood saturation module. I don't know what you would call it, but I like the way this box sounds, and we're doing 2.5. Like, we're really hardly adding anything to it saturation wise. Sometimes if you're adding saturation, you need to take some away from the output, but I didn't see that necessary this time. Listen to the difference though that the saturation makes. Really in the EQ, listen to the tone of the vocal, the way the tone changes when we add and take away the saturation.
Hey, so come take from me like I'm testing the season. Won't hit 10 till you give me a reason. Hawk out and I lose control of my breathing. That's why they all look at me like a demon. Mix up.
Let's go without it.
Hey, so come take from me like I'm testing the season. Won't hit 10 till you give me a reason. Hawk out and I lose control of my breathing. That's why they all look at me like a demon. Mix.
Listen to the mid-range of the vocal. Listen how it comes forward more when we add the saturation.
Hey, so come take from me like I'm testing the season. Won't hit 10 till you give me a reason. Hawk out and I lose control of my breathing. That's why they all look at me like a demon.
Yeah, I hear a little bit of the transients also softening. It's like it's not as dynamic. It's not compressed really, but it's just a little bit of softness in the dynamics. So I like what that added, as well as pushing that mid-range forward. So I followed that up with EQ, and we're doing very little EQ on this entire vocal, man. We're cutting 4 dB at 400, and we're cutting 2 dB at 1.5. Let's see what it sounds like.
Hey, so come take from me like I'm testing the season. Won't hit 10 till you give me a reason. Hawk out and I lose control of my breathing. That's why they all look at me like a demon. Mix up.
And I think so far that's probably made the biggest difference. Let's take that out and go back and forth.
Hey, so come take from me like I'm testing the season. Won't hit 10 till you give me a reason. Hawk out and I lose control of my breathing. That's why they all look at me like a demon. Mix up.
And now go with it.
Hey, so come take from me like I'm testing the season. Won't hit 10 till you give me a reason. Hawk out and I lose control of my breathing. That's why they all look at me like a demon. Mix up.
So cool. that gave us some clarity, right? Because we just cut away some of the fluffiness that we didn't need in the vocal. And now we can kind of compress it and try to add a little bit more of the volume back because we have taken some away. So the next is a distressor, and it's doing some really fast compression. It's just knocking down the really quick peaks. So watch this.
Come take from me like I'm testing the season. Won't hit 10 till you give me a reason. Hawk out and I lose control of my breathing. That's why they all look at me like a demon. Mix a RC with a acetaminophen. You sit back, you gon' see the difference.
So as you can see, we're maybe getting 3, maybe 4 dB of gain reduction, like on the super loudest parts. Other than that, it's doing very minimal work, but it is adding a lot of volume. And I did that on purpose because of the sound of this compressor, like the saturation and the extra like harmonics and stuff that it adds. I wanted to use this compressor to add more volume so we could get more of that saturation, more of that saturated sound. But you'll see right afterwards, I think we end up taking some of that volume away because we got what we needed from the distressor. So the next is just an EQ, SSL style EQ, and we're actually not doing anything with this EQ. I think I had set it up, and then I ended up taking away whatever I had used, so we don't really need that. We just followed it up with 2 more compressors actually. Let's listen to see what they're doing.
Come take from me like I'm testing the season. Won't hit 10 till you give me a reason. Hawk out and I lose control of my breathing.
So yeah, listen to the difference in control once we take this away.
Come take from me like I'm testing the season. Won't hit 10 till you give me a reason. Hawk out and I lose control of my breathing. That's why they all look at me like a demon. Mix up.
And so listen to this. So this compressor is reacting a little bit slower than the one before. And so it's like the first compressor is getting the very first things, but the waveform might be this long, right? So the very first compressor is getting the first things. The second compressor is skipping over those things and getting like the transients right after that initial like spike of noise. And then the third compressor is gonna like kind of control the tails, the slowest one. That's just the way I work in this particular channel strip. I think that's the way we want our vocals to sound moving forward. So let's listen.
Come take from me like I'm testing the season. Won't hit 10 till you give me a reason. Hawk out and I lose control of my breathing. That's why they all look at me like a demon. Mix a RC with a acetaminophen. You sit back, you gon' see the difference. You cost me, I'm gon' be your consequence. It's for the thrill, I partake for the hell of it. Hurt for so long, now I'm back on my bullshit. Come take from me.
And as you can see, I actually added this third compressor, but I didn't need that either. The vocal just came together that easily. So we're looking at 1 EQ and 2 compressors, and that's basically all you need. If you record your vocal well, you balance your vocals in the beat, you're gonna sound great every single time. Oh yeah, and you also just have a really fire template that you're recording in. I'll show you guys how we already have our mix bus and master bus and everything already set up so that this thing can really knock and sound great. So let's listen to it one more time, the full vocal, see what it sounds like, and move on.
Come take from me like I'm testing the season. Won't hit 10 till you give me a reason. Hawk out and I lose control of my breathing. That's why they all look at me like a demon. Mix a RC with a acetaminophen. You sit back, you gon' see the difference. You cost me, I'm gon' be your consequence. It's for the thrill, I partake for the hell of it. Hurt for so long, now I'm back on my bullshit.
And really, man, it's that simple to dial in your rap vocals in 2024. I want to pull up the channel strip one more time so you guys can see exactly what we used, see the exact settings that we had, and really go from there, man. These are the tips I'm giving you week in and week out. And if you need a little bit more help, drop me a line down below. My name is VV and I'm here for you. Stay humble, make diamonds only. Peace.
Come take from me like I'm testing the season. Won't hit 10 till you give me a reason. Hawk out and I lose control of my breathing. That's why they all look at me like a demon. Mix a RC with a acetaminophen. You sit back, you gon' see the difference. You cost me, I'm gon' be your consequence. It's for the thrill, I partake for the hell of it. Hurt for so long, now I'm back on my bullshit.